In this video, we're going to get into whether this is the best sport bike in Bangladesh. So before we start off this video, we're going to get into what the 5-year ownership of this bike is like. But before we get into all of that, we're going to first fill this up and then fix this weird squeaking noise that comes on every time I'm going over some kind of rough terrain. So yeah, let's go to the fuel pump real quick. Well, it's not going to be really quick, but for you guys it will be real quick. I'm just going to speed up the video for you guys. So yeah, let's go.
A few moments later.
10 লিটার বলে দিবাইনি।
10 লিটার।
হ্যাঁ।
तेल मुगल तुलो तेल मुगल लागला नहीं तुले मारो कौन तुले तो
प्रोसीजर হয়েছিল ভাই
तेल मुगल लागला এটা পড়বা এটা হলো অটোমেশন
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
জানি ওইটা তো 14 লিটার ধরিবা
হ্যাঁ এটা
আর আমি 10 লিটার বর্তমান চাই
আর দাই বোতল
আচ্ছা 10 লিটার হয়ে গেছে নি কত হয়েছে বা
1250
রে ভাই Now I can explain to you guys why I filled up 10 liters, because we're gonna add something called, let me see, bring it up first. Liquid moly 40 additive shooter for the fuel system. This works great for the fuel injections and the carburetors, you know what I mean? It just cleans the system out. And over here it'll tell you to add the whole 80 ml within 5 to 10 liters of fuel recommended for when you're refueling. So let's do that real quick. That. We're going to go to one of my favorite, not my favorite, but it's the only garage or mechanic I'd go to, because in Bangladesh you notice yourself, because obviously you're a foreigner, they try to take advantage of you, but this guy's a G. He fixes my bike all the time. Onate ho din লাগাইছলাই না নি এটা ছুটি গেছে একবার
লাগাই দিলাম বসে
ওদের সিফার মাঝে একটা আছিল অন্য যে লাগাইছলাই
লাগাই দিলাম
এটা ছুটি গেছে
1 hour later.
So that's it. We got the note replaced. Now we can get on with this review. So this is the Taro GP1 version 1 special edition from 2018. This bike came into Bangladesh during the high demand for sports bike around 150 cc's. Before then it was just the highest cc you could get then was 150 cc to 160 cc. They were probably the highest you could get. Now the new laws in Bangladesh state that you can get bikes up to about 350 cc, so hopefully in the future we can review higher cc model bikes. But first, what I'd like to get into with this bike is we've owned this bike now for 5 years. We got it since it's come out. We got it fresh out of the showroom. I mean, compared to the other owners, we kept this bike in some good condition. You can't even tell it's been 5 years old, apart from the, you know, the little grazes here and there. But yeah. So for those that don't know, this bike was originally designed in Italy and made in China. You can tell by the design of it, it's got the Italian look, the Italian stallion look. And obviously because labor costs and whatnot are cheaper in China, I'm guessing that's why they made it in China, which is why it's not much of an expensive bike. But for Bangladesh standards, this was quite expensive at the time. It's got the LED DRL headlights. Let's talk about the statistics of this bike. So this bike has got 16 bhp from a 150cc water-cooled engine. It's 8,500 RPM and it's pushing about 14.5 Newton meters of torque. So I mean, for Bangladesh standards on the Bangladeshi roads, this bike, what am I on about? Why am I saying car? But yeah, this bike has quite the power to it, and also the looks. Wherever I go, if you see my videos and whatnot, you'll see that people always keep an eye out for this bike. They always look at it. But yeah, at the rear we have a 150 tire. That's at the rear, and we have 110 at the front. It's got dual CBS disc brakes at the front, and it's got a disc brake at the back, which also goes into the factor of its price. If we're going to talk about the weight on this thing, this is quite heavy for its class. It's weighing 150 kgs. It's got rear monoshock suspension, front telescopic USD suspension, which is also adjustable. And as you can see in the video, it's got a half digital screen which shows the speed and an analog rev meter. Now we're going to move on to a few things that I like and dislike about this bike. First of all, I've got to mention how the steering setup is absolutely wonderful. It's not too far away from your body, so it's easy to hang on to. It's not too low or too high. It's absolutely perfect. And I like the way they made a three-piece design setup for the clip-on, so the handlebar and the center of the steering stem is separate to the whole setup. Another thing I really like about this bike is the height. The height is one of the main things that a lot of bikers really fuss about on sport bikes, is when they're too high up and you can't reach the ground with your feet. But this bike is not too high, not too low. I think it's about perfect. There's a few things I did myself. We've added a CCTV setup where we can record what we're doing on the go. So once the bike turns on, the CCTV cameras, one at the front and one at the rear, will record what we're doing from both angles. I've also added these LED lights so it can stand out in the night. At first I was a bit iffy about it because it gives off these LGBTQ vibes. I'm not trying to shame no gay people, thumbs up to you guys. But however, now it's alright in the daytime because you can't really notice the lights until it gets dark. And the last thing I like about this bike is its stock exhaust. Straight out of the factory, this bike sounds amazing for its category, the price, and as a 150cc this bike sounds good. Some people put some exhausts on it. They've been putting these fake SC Project exhaust, fake Akrapovic exhausts on it, and it just sounds like a duck getting in the ass. Now for the conclusion of this video, is this the best sports bike in Bangladesh? And I'd say no, because in this category you can get a lot more better bikes like the R15M, the GSXR, and many more. Also, since the release of this model, there has been 3 more versions of this bike: the V2, the V3 and the V4, the newest one, which has got a updated screen. It's got the fuel injection technology for the engine, whereas this one is a carburetor powered engine. It's pushing a lot more power than this one. I'm not too sure on the statistics. We'll probably get that in a later date video. However, if you are planning on buying this bike, I would say go ahead right away and buy it, only because there's less technology in this bike, so there's less interference with the driving, less driver aids, there's no traction control on this bike, so it's all down to actual driver skill. Whereas the new bikes, they'll have a lot more technology with the traction control, the throttle control and all of that stuff, and the power is just more raw on these ones. So that's it for today's video. If you guys liked the video, please smash the like button, press the subscribe button, and share the video as much as you can. It will mean a lot to me, and it will help me out in the later future to make better videos and more content for you guys. Catch you guys in the next video.